Welcome back to 10 Million Cats, the channel where we explore the world through whiskers, paws, and ancient mysteries. Today, we're traveling back over 4,000 years to a place where cats weren't just pets. They were protectors, symbols of beauty, and even messengers of the gods. This is the story of cats in ancient Egypt. How cats first joined Egyptian life. To understand why cats became so important in ancient Egypt, we have to travel all the way back to the very beginning, long before temples, goddesses, or golden cat statues. Our story starts with something much simpler: farming. Around 4,000 years ago, early Egyptians began storing grain. Grain attracted mice. Mice attracted snakes. And both of those attracted one very special visitor, the African wildcat. These wildcats weren't pets. They were cautious, solitary hunters, sleek, silent, and incredibly skilled. But to the Egyptians, they were a blessing. A single wildcat could protect an entire household's food supply just by doing what cats do best: hunting. Imagine living in a world where cobras were daily danger. Now imagine a whiskered guardian slipping into your home and taking care of the problem. It didn't take long for Egyptians to realize that these animals weren't just useful, they were lifesavers. At first, cats lived around the edges of villages, keeping their distance. But over generations, something remarkable happened. The wildcats grew more comfortable around humans, and humans grew more attached to them. This wasn't forced domestication, it was a partnership. Cats chose to stay close because life near humans meant easy meals and safety. Humans welcomed them because life with cats meant fewer pests, fewer snakes, and a calmer home. By the Middle Kingdom, around 1980 BCE, cats had officially moved in. We know this because Egyptian art shows cats sitting under chairs, joining family meals, and even accompanying people on hunting trips. These aren't background animals, they are part of the household. And here's the fascinating part: Egypt didn't domesticate cats. Cats domesticated themselves. They adapted to human life on their own terms, becoming friendlier, more social, and more comfortable living indoors. And the Egyptians responded with admiration, affection, and eventually, worship. This early bond, a wildcat sneaking into a granary, a family noticing fewer mice, a quiet moment of trust, became the foundation for one of the most iconic human-animal relationships in history. Before the temples, before the mummies, before the goddess Bastet, there was simply a cat and family, discovering that life was better together. Bastet, the cat goddess. As cats became more important, they gained a divine protector, Bastet. She was the goddess of home, joy, fertility, and protection, everything cats symbolized. Her temples were filled with cat statues, offerings, and prayers. People believed that caring for cats honored Bastet herself. But Bastet didn't start out as a cat. In her earliest form, she was a lioness, fierce, protective, and wild. She was the daughter of Ra, the sun god, and a warrior goddess who defended the pharaoh and the people from chaos. Then something changed. Around 1500 BCE, as cats became part of everyday Egyptian life, Bastet's image softened. She transformed from lioness to domestic cat, elegant, graceful, and nurturing. Her power didn't fade, it evolved. Bastet became the goddess of home, fertility, music, joy, and protection. She was the guardian of women and children, the bringer of good health, and the divine embodiment of feline charm. Her symbols? The ankh, representing life. The sistrum, a musical instrument used in rituals. Her worship centered in Bastet, a city in the Nile Delta. There, her temple overflowed with cat statues, offerings, and even mummified cats. People came from all over Egypt to honor her, bringing gifts, prayers, and sometimes their beloved feline companions. To harm a cat was to offend Bastet herself. That's how sacred she was. In art, Bastet is often shown as a woman with a cat's head, wearing a broad collar and holding a sistrum. Sometimes she's seated calmly, other times she's standing guard, always watching, always protecting. She wasn't just a goddess. She was the spirit of every cat, protector, companion, and queen of the home. And in ancient Egypt, that made her one of the most beloved deities of all. Cats and royalty. Cats were so revered that harming one, even accidentally, was considered a serious crime. Some pharaohs kept royal cats adorned with gold jewelry. These animals symbolized elegance, power, and divine protection. Cats in warfare and diplomacy. Cats were so sacred that enemies used them strategically. During the Battle of Pelusium, the Persians reportedly carried cats into battle, knowing Egyptians would avoid harming them. It worked. The Egyptians surrendered rather than risk injuring the sacred animals. Symbolism and legacy. The symbolism of cats survived long after the pharaohs. Today, cats still roam Egyptian streets, echoing their ancient ancestors. Museums around the world display cat statues, amulets, and mummies, reminders of a civilization that saw the divine in every graceful movement. From wild hunters to divine protectors, cats shaped Egyptian culture in ways few animals ever have. Their story is a testament to the bond between humans and animals, a bond that began on the banks of the Nile and continues today. Thank you for watching.